years from now. The Jaycee Horn versus the Patrick Surtain. All right, preference. We talking about preference, right? Press man, zone cover, cornerbacks. Yes, this is a defensive back subject right here. And everybody knows, like, it goes all the way down to the 10th pick. Who would you rather have? A Jaycee Horn or Patrick Surtain? Both corners are long. They both run about the same. As far as speed-wise, we're not going to talk about the fractions of differences there. Now, the aggressive mentality, one can argue that Jaycee Horn is a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more flexible. And you can see it. Different teams, though, right? Because we got to understand the fact that Alabama, totally different from the different program of Carolina, right? It's just different. South Carolina, by the way. So when we think about, like, what will be the option choice for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Mike McCarthy in the presser, he said, hey, I want to play more press man, match, covering, opposed to zone coverage.
We want to be more aggressive. Obviously, we got to play more man in zone, match, coverage, ever how you view it. Defensive back, you break down the physical, the measurables, and then, the mental, you get a grade on that, and then the emotional component. But, as far as the length, short area quickness, I'm very focused on the ability to make plays on the ball. I think the ball skill grade is something that we were paying close attention to because it's about the football. I mean, the turnover differential is the most important focus of our football team outside of winning the game. So that'll be reflected in all of our defensive players, especially the defensive backs.
Now, the philosophy and the scheme of Dan Quinn is more of a preference, dare I say, of a zone dropping back. Now, here's what I'm reading and looking up. Is that Mike McCarthy said also on his staff that his guys already worked out with Jaycee Horn when he was young, right? Now, I'm not trying to sit here and say whether the Cowboys showed their hand, but if you want a press man cover corner, then there's Jaycee Horn. Not saying that Patrick Surtain can't do it. Not saying that if the Dallas Cowboys select Patrick Surtain, that he will not be able to pick up the system, because they did lament the fact that you got to have development.
It's really the development, the upside. And I think that's probably been the biggest challenge, getting a really good assessment on where their ceiling is, because you have to develop these young players. I mean, the draft is the backbone of your roster development. Once again, I can't say how important it is, not only at the defensive back position, but all these draft picks that they have a chance to develop, and because it's going to be a big part of our roster moving forward.
These guys still going to develop. At the end of the day, we looking at a dog that needed to be on this team, regardless of it. They can't let it go by. A Patrick Surtain or a Jaycee Horn. They can't just let that stuff go by. Now, Greg Newsom, he's good too. Kelvin Joseph, and many of the mocks that we were running yesterday, we saw Kelvin Joseph on there, right? So, like I lamented earlier, all of last month, would be that this particular draft class, as far as the defensive back category, it's thick. It's flat out is. And will the right person fall to us? Yes. It's up to the coaches to also elevate. Remember that. Now, I know that a lot of people are looking at it like, okay, what the experts are saying. What is such and such saying about this particular guy? Oh, who got the best as it relates to favoritism? Which program was better? Which guy that if you can insert now will be a day one starter? And we looking at what we got now. Reggie Robinson, right? We got Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis. It's not going to be given to whoever drafted. They're going to have an uphill battle to beat out Jordan Lewis, by the way. Jordan Lewis is just not going to lay down and say, okay, whoever y'all draft, that's cool. No. No. He got something to prove, too, and he just got his bag. Diggs, yes, he's showing us things that we was like, man, that was remarkable what he did last year, right? Can he repeat that? Por favor, right? Can he bring that same energy back? Can we see no more of the sophomore slumps? That's been a common trend over here with the Dallas Cowboys, right? So it goes all the way down to just like Mike McCarthy said, I want more press. I want more matching. I want more of the cornerbacks to have that aggressive mentality. I want this defense to take the ball away. That's more important than putting money on the board. The second to come to putting money on the board is taking the ball away. And in order for that to happen, you need dogs. You need somebody that's cognitive enough to jump routes, not play it safe. Look, we heard the same story last year, right? And everybody jumped on the train. Yes, let's get rid of Byron Jones. Collectively speaking, not you guys. Because they wanted turnovers. They wanted takeaways. And I was saying to everybody, be careful what you wish for. And I don't want people to look over there and say, see, look what he was doing over there in Miami land. He didn't do much there. But it's the ideology. Think about this. Let this sink in. You had a cornerback that played with everything in front of him. Kept it right and neat. Was able to bat the ball down. Didn't really get interceptions, but was always there. Cover guy. Was not a turnover machine. And that is what you're going to get out of Patrick Surtain. He's not going to be a turnover machine. He's going to be a cover guy. Sticky. He's not going to jump many of routes. Can he do it? I'm quite sure he can. And I'm not saying that Patrick Surtain is Byron Jones 2.0, but similar situations. I think that Patrick Surtain, what he does a little bit better than Byron Jones is he will come down, shed the block, and feel. He's a little bit more aggressive in that aspect of it. And no knock at Byron Jones. Byron Jones will allow the play to develop, and he will try to get there. But he's more so playing the hands of the receiver, and that could have been scheme, right? So, but when we think about Patrick Surtain, he can cover, got good speed, and on top of that, he is a guy that's versatile enough to play down in the slot. He is. But when you think about Jaycee Horn, do all of those things that I just mentioned, is he a little grabby? Well, we can chalk that up as being aggressive, but he will jump routes. Well, Law, where's all his interceptions? They decided not to throw the ball his way. And the same can be argued for Patrick Surtain. But it's the mentality, feel, coverage, quickness. The short area quickness is there. Oh, my goodness. And the ability to play free, strong, anywhere you want. And he's saying, okay, who's your best receiver? Who's your best tight end? Put it on me, baby. That's what we want. We want those dogs. So I'm with the belief that the Dallas Cowboys might play it safe. And they might roll with Patrick Surtain. But my dog, Jaycee Horn, out of this draft. And time will tell. It takes 3 years to do a complete evaluations of the draft. But I don't want us to be linked forever and ever. Kind of like the Juan Thornhill and the Tristan Hill, right? They link forever. So we will see and find out which way the Cowboys are going to look like 2 to 3 years from now. The Jaycee Horn versus to Patrick Surtain. I want to know your thoughts, Cowboy Nation. I want to know how you guys feel. Who do you want to roll with? Is it Jaycee Horn? Put Jaycee in the chat. And if it's, well, put JCH in the chat if it's Jaycee Horn. And if it's Patrick Surtain, put PS2 in the chat box. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys.
Play on the ball, track the ball, pick it off.